Right, hello everyone, welcome back to another walkthrough of God of War, the new version. If you have not seen the previous videos that are with us, recommend you watch them before watching this one. Link below will be God of War Ragnarok, both PS4 and PS5 versions, with the first ever God of War DLC, Valhalla, for both versions as well. Once I figure out how to record games on the PS3, by then, God of War Chains of Olympus, well, starting off, technically, God of War Ascension, God of War Chains of Olympus, God of War 1, God of War Ghost of Sparta, and God of War 2 from the PS3, and obviously God of War 3 Remastered from the PS4. No need for the God of War 3 on the PS3. It's still so weird how God of War 3 was the only game that got remastered, but not the latest one before the new God of War Ascension. Technically saying Ascension should have gotten a remaster and not God of War 3, technically, but oh well. Anyway, those are all the God of War games linked below, and similar games to how God of War is played out would be linked below as well. I'm talking about like the open world aspect of God of War would be linked below. Not going to go into the specific details on those similar open world games. Going to say similar open world games will be linked below, and as well as similar mythological like games like God of War, the fantasy world, the mythological like God of War, world of God of War will be linked below. And again, not going to go to the specific details. Going to say similar mythological fantasy games will be linked below. And picking up where we left off, we are going to do some side stuff now, and I think at this point we might as well do like some traveling out, because to my memory I believe this is where, if we would continue on with the main mission, I believe this is where you're supposed to talk to Jormungandr and he's supposed to let you go inside his mouth. I believe we're kind of going to that direction pretty soon. I'm not really sure, but I'm thinking, based on my memory, we are going in that direction right now. So obviously, right now I want to focus on doing some side stuff, but maybe not the Valkyrie stuff yet. Maybe we might do the Valkyrie stuff after defeating Boulder. Well, maybe, depending if we could get some more higher points, some more levels up. Maybe we might do that before the fight with Boulder. Maybe. But if not, possibly we'll do the whole Valkyrie fights after the Boulder fights. Anyway, all that's for later, and let's continue on with the game.
Now we just need to figure out what door this key opens. It has to be somewhere around the temple. Oh, you're right. Now that we got the key, we can open that big door anytime we want. Let's explore. Mimir, why did you say Tyr felt responsible for what Odin did to the giants?
There was an incident shortly after the forging of Mjolnir, when Tyr arranged a diplomatic meeting between Odin and the giant kings. Well, this was when the Long War was young, and victory was still a thing dreamed of, and the Jotnar might have tipped the balance between Aesir and Vanir. Odin had persuaded Tyr that the hammer was merely a deterrent, a means to broker peace from a position of strength. Tyr was hopeful to convince all parties they would prosper best through peace. He knew the giants were deeply concerned about the hammer, a super weapon in hands they did not trust. But they trusted Tyr. Tyr always believed the best in people, and taking Odin at his word in his desire for peace, he brought the Raven King to Jotunheim. From there, things unravelled quickly. The giants anticipated Odin's trickery and exposed his true agenda to spy and steal their secret wisdom. With magics, they expelled Odin from their realm and cursed him never to return. Frustrated, Odin visited his fury upon the giants of Midgard. Thor unleashed Mjolnir's might upon any giant he could find. None could stand against the tide of slaughter that followed. And at last, it seems, with Tyr's aid, they retreated. The tower disappeared, no giants could be found in Midgard, and no man nor god has set foot in Jotunheim since.
Here we go! That was the last ship. I hope the captain will be satisfied now.
He was determined to put these men to rest himself.
But he's never been able to.
That does not matter to him. Our victory will only remind him of his fate.
Then
Nicely done!
Father, why did you really want to help the spirit?
You need the experience.
I've had plenty of experience fighting these things. What's the real reason?
This man inspired loyalty. He took responsibility for his mistakes, and he was determined to fix them. These are good lessons for you.
Oh,
Yes. Oh.
Mimir, you never told us what Magni and Modi had to do with Hrungnir.
Oh yes! Well, what happened after Hrungnir fell slain upon Thor was that nobody in the court could get the stone body off of him. Thor was no use at this point, his brain rattled, his breath shallow, but none of Odin's men were nearly strong enough to help. Then enter little Magni and Modi, no taller than shrubs, and while nobody but myself was looking, they flipped over Hrungnir's corpse and freed their father. Magni, being blonder, got all the credit, and Modi remained bitter about it from that day to the end, which I don't need to tell you about.
My men are...
That's right. We killed... we laid them all to rest.
I see. So even in death, I am a failure.
But in life you were honorable, strong-willed, and you inspired loyalty. These are good qualities, aren't they, boy?
Yeah. I couldn't believe how many men followed you here.
I thank you for your kind words. May your journey have a more pleasant end than mine.
Well, you're right. You didn't seem very satisfied. I guess you never really get over losing ones you care about.
Never.
Another name. Ulrich.
Why the arcane runes? Perhaps we're meant to find something in Muspelheim and Niflheim.
I'm confused. I always heard that Baldur's mother was Frigg.
Aye, Frigg. Well, that's more of a pet name, you see. It means beloved, something Odin called Freya after they wed. Out of affection at first, or so I like to believe. As things turned sour, it became a way to manipulate the truth.
How so?
Odin didn't want Freya, a Vanir goddess, getting credit for anything in Asgard. So anything worthy she accomplished was attributed to Frigg.
Like being Baldur's mother.
That's right! Freya was Baldur's mother all along.
Another name. Hildur. Odin so desperate to find a way into Jotunheim anyway?
He's convinced the giants hold the key to changing his fate when Ragnarok comes. They are the Aesir's oldest enemies, after all, and it's their army that's supposed to do him in the end. But more than that, he covets their gifts of prophecy. He wants to know what they know and see what they see. So much suffering could have been avoided if his insatiable curiosity was not so much stronger than his wisdom.
What do you mean?
Ah, remind me to tell you why they call him the Lord of the Hanged.
Mimir, why did you work for Odin if he's so horrible?
It's my career! And if you mean to make your career as a counsellor to kings, you can't very well rule out petty maniacs. Available positions are scarce enough. My first master was a cruel piece of work as well, but I learned through him the enduring power of wit, which served me well with kings and gods alike. I couldn't have been much older than you when I started. A fairy king's errand boy and unofficial jester. By night, my mates and I had the run of the forest. Good fellows they called us, knavish sprites to the last. We'd get up to all manner of mischief, making fools of the local mortals. But as long as our lord was kept amused, we were spared the consequences. Then one day he was not amused, and I saw fit to move on. Thankfully, the ages and roads travelled since then have turned me from that merry wanderer into the paragon of virtue you see before you today.
Another name. Gunnar. That's all the ones I see. How are we supposed to light the braziers on a tower that's not there?
Just seeing the dragon like this makes me wish, like, I kind of remember it from the Ragnarok game. I have to replay it to see if some of the things in here are still there in the second game.
Atreus, to me!
Mimir, how'd you come to be in these lands?
Lad, there comes a time in every man's life when he changes his name and heads north to make a new start. If you live long enough to do this many times over, you might end up as far north as this place. By the time I arrived, I already knew Odin by his reputation, and so I set to demonstrate my worth by coming to him with something I knew he'd value, a mystic well of knowledge. Or rather, I should say, a well of water laced with enough mystic mushrooms to make a god see visions. Oh, he was rightly impressed. Can't say for sure what he saw that led him to try gouging out his own eyes, but I managed to restrain him before he finished the job. Then I persuaded him it has been his sacrifice made for an even higher form of sight to be bestowed. Blah, de blah, de blah, de blah. I used to think he never caught on. But the day he took my eye, I realised he had never been fooled. He knew I'd outwitted him, called the lesson wisdom, and hired me to make sure from then on I was on his side. And for a long, long time I truly was. Doesn't mean he didn't hold a grudge.
Can we dock here?
Once you retrieve the whetstone, please take utmost care while handling it. It is a priceless relic, after all.
I didn't think we'd see you out here, since you and Brock got back together. Everything okay?
Oh, better than ever. You know, I think we've both grown in our years apart.
So how come you're back here?
Just catching some fresh air. Look, I love my brother, but he still smells like a fetid dung pile.
I still can't believe a son would kill his own father. That's crazy, right? I know, we only got one side of the story. But come on! His own father? I mean, I get angry at you sometimes, but...
Do you?
I mean, sometimes, yeah. A little. But I'd never stab you in the back.
No.
This clan really didn't want anyone coming in. How are we supposed to get through?
There must be a way to lift the gate.
Maybe with the big water wheel.
My thought as well.
Behind you, brother!
How did it go now? wish Mom were here.
It is over.
Well, that solves that treasure map.
When are you angry?
What?
With me? When?
Oh, I guess sometimes when you don't think I can do something, but I can.
It is not always easy to know one.
It's okay. I get it. I'm little. Where's that whetstone, I wonder?
Atreus, here.
Yes, Father.
Here. Boy.
Yes, sir. Ah, I was wondering about this.
Impressive!
What happened over there?
This is the sun.
That ghost son? How do you know?
The sigil. It matches the dagger we found in his father's back. He stood his ground, but it was not enough.
They betrayed him.
Betrayal begets betrayal. My guess, the young one murdering his dad didn't sit well with the others.
He thought himself ready to lead. It cost him his life.
I guess.
Look there, lad. By his feet.
The whetstone!
Yes. They used it to smash his face in.
They did? Ew.
Behind you! Look out!
This whetstone behind. If Sindri wants it, it must be really useful.
Well, lad, reavers have very specific priorities. If it's not shiny and you can't eat or drink it, might as well use it as a blunt object.
Boy,
Sir. There's a scroll here. It belonged to the sun. Wow, this goes on and on. Father, forgive me. Filled with remorse, forget my actions.
had he thought before taking action, there would be no need for regret, yes?
Yeah. Maybe we should bring this to his father. Back at the storeroom. I see something down there. There's something down there. Mimir, I still don't get why you ever wanted to work for Odin.
Back then, I was young enough to still be ambitious. Aesir gods were as powerful a force as I'd come across, but they clearly lacked for strategy, focus, and sage counsel. All this could I faithfully provide. And so, a stranger from a far-off island found himself with Odin's ear, trusted as he trusted no one but himself. And with that kind of power, laddie, I must confess, there are perks.
Yeah, but he's Odin.
I never claimed to be perfect, laddie, only clever. And often too clever by half.
So what'd you do to get Odin so mad at you?
Well, for a long time my job was to enable Odin, and I was fucking excellent at it. Gradually, as I grew more to care about people and the world, my job became to contain him, to protect him from himself. By serving peace, I served his interests as well, that's the truth. But he saw it as disloyalty. No longer trusting my motives but not wishing to part with my brain or tongue, he bound me to a tree and adopted a new pastime of casual torture.
Well, I'm glad we came along to cut off your head.
Aye, lad. Lucky break that was.
Atreus, to me.
Okay, coming. Father's, isn't it?
Yes.
And you brought it down to save me?
It was very heroic.
What's that down there? still can't believe he ate it. So why do they call Odin the Lord of the Hang?
That refers to a modest example of Odin's thirst for knowledge. The time he spent 9 days a dead man. Hung himself by the neck from Yggdrasil's branches, put his spear through his own side, and bled down into the Well of Destiny. He roamed the realms of the dead and plundered the World Tree of its secrets, until I think quite rightly it got fed up with him and sent him back to the land of the living. Did I not mention he was barking mad?
How did it go at the stronghold?
We found your whetstone.
Oh, wonderful! This staining is unusual.
The Reavers used it to smash another Reaver's face in.
Oh, wonderful. Here, for your trouble. I can't wait to test out the new whetstone. It may not look like much, but it's practically humming with magic. I've needed a new one after my brother borrowed the last one. I saw him spit on it. "To lube it up!" he said. I didn't ask for it back. Brock and I are working on something special for you at the temple.
Here's something I can't figure out. Odin wants to prevent Ragnarok, but the serpent's already been there and seen it. So hasn't he already failed?
Fate's a tricky thing, lad. And Odin's just arrogant enough to think he can get the best of it.
Fate is another lie told by the gods. Nothing is written that cannot be unwritten.
On that, brother, you and the All-Father may just agree. Even if he can't prevent Ragnarok, he still hopes to learn enough details to influence the outcome. Remind me later to tell you about the wolves.
Brock and I have been working on a new project at the temple. Come visit soon.
little easier than I thought.
What are you fools doing back here? Come to pilfer my boots and small clothes?
We found your son. He was betrayed too. And we found part of his journal. It sounded like he regretted killing you.
Fat lot of good that does me. How'd he go out? He die fighting?
We found 4 corpses near his. They were decapitated.
Ha! Vandrit always did keep his sword nice and sharp. A lesson he picked up from me. He's a backstabbing bastard, but knowing he's in Valhalla sets me at ease. Thanks.
We did a good thing. I'm glad we came back here.
That thief did not deserve the peace you gave him.
Maybe so. Still, it feels good to help people. Even the dead ones.
So much like your mother.
Come visit Brock and I at the temple sometime.
Mimir, why do you have Bifrost crystals in your eyes?
A loving gift from the giants. Since I used to do so much traveling between realms, they thought it would be more convenient for me than having a crystal I could lose.
Did it hurt?
No, because I wisely fortified myself with 16 cups of Billow Maiden's ale. Got so inebriated I tried convincing the giants to put them in my nipples instead. Almost talked them into it too. Can you imagine? Mimir of the Bifrost teats. Ah, those were the days. Okay, I'll stop now.
My brother and me got a new project, now that we're on speaking terms.
What do you want?
With the whetstone and hammer you've retrieved for us, Brock and I can construct the Dvegrathikar, dwarven armor of legend.
We just need 3 more mythical ingredients before we set to hammering.
Which are...
Dunno. Armor's pure legend, and the details is fuzzier than a wolver's butthole.
Do you expect us to find parts from a legend?
Oh, Motsognir the Dwarf King found 2 of them. Everyone knows that. But when he went looking for the 3rd...
Poof! He vanished. Maybe he'll find some clues at his stronghold in Konunsgard.
And looky here, a Conan-scarred entry stone. It's got your name on it. How fucking strange. The stronghold's northwest of here, behind the Svartalfheim Realm Tower.
Large stone structure, creepy atmosphere. You'll know it when you see it. The Hulder brothers, back in action again. Oh, I can't wait to get started.
Never think I'd see such a day we was back to building as a duo. But it feels right, especially for this. Been so used to building on my own all these years, almost forgot how dang useful an extra pair of hands is.
I forgot how much easier it is to smelt scap slag with someone else gauging the temperature.
two make quite a formidable duo.
I'm glad Brock and Sindri were able to work out their differences.
Now they are twice as irritating.
I think it's nice to see them trust each other again. dock on this beach?
Ah, this is where we get our first dragon. Now I remember. Okay, this is where we get our first dragon.
Atreus, follow me.
Sorry, I got distracted.
Boy,
It says, "Glory to Motsignir, the Dwarf King. May his reign be long, prosperous, and filled with peace."
Greetings, and welcome to Konungsgard. I just want to make sure you're good and prepared before heading in any further. There's all manner of nastiness left over from the Mad Dwarf King's foul practices.
What kind of practices?
Oh, various sacrificing, dark enchantments, blood, magic, and so forth. Quite common among the older dwarves, unfortunately. Old habits are hard to break.
Whoa. Look, a dragon! But it's chained. Is it a pet?
do not get any ideas.
And there is our first dragon. I obviously remembered where the other two are, but the technical first one you get, I couldn't remember specifically where, and now here it is. We got the first one.
It's up ahead. Just give the word.
Done. Ready yourself, boy.
believe the chain is the only thing holding him down.
Odds are there's a bit of magic at play here as well. This is a dwarven stronghold after all.
That's an impressive front door. These materials must be pretty special to make the legendary armor.
This legendary armor better be worth the trouble.
But if Brock and Sindri make it together, I'm sure it's worth the effort. Don't you trust them at least?
I trust you, Atreus. I do not trust the legend.
Oh. What's that? You did it! Watch out, Father! Ready, anyway! Stone number 2. This place is even bigger than Vadergard.
Yes, the Dwarf King's reach appears vast.
Wonder what happened to him.
'Tis a great mystery, even amongst the sons of Ivaldi. Motsognir's behaviour before his disappearance grew increasingly erratic.
Why?
The Devegrathikar, the very armour you find yourself searching for. Though he found 2, I'd wager his failure to find the 3rd ingredient drove him to madness. few ways to find out, but they're rather messy.
I guess it doesn't matter. Stay down!
Dragon would be a bit more supportive, seeing how we're trying to free it.
You enjoy freeing them.
Well, yeah. Still seems like the right thing to do.
Follow me, Atreus. Boy, over here.
Yes, sir. Interesting.
Stay focused. Not good now.
Need more time! Help me with! Yeah, father!
We are done here.
Come here. Why did the dwarf thing want this armor so badly? What's so special about it?
There are many legends behind the Debate Grathika. A suspicious amount of legends, which makes confirming anything about this particular armour difficult. But the one constant is the ability of the armour to offer ultimate protection. A useful attribute for an unpopular king, you see.
Yet this plagued land is all that remains of him. This is why you do not trust legends, boy.
Well, what can you trust?
Yourself, your eyes, your instincts. Blind trust in a legend is a gamble, and rarely does it pay off.
If you say so. Sir! these 3 entry stones. Still won't open? Looks like we need 3.
The enemies are strong here. Keep your guard up.
We're in! Okay, here we go. Huh, it's kind of run down in here.
What did you expect?
I don't know. Less ruin, I guess? Maybe the throne room's in better shape.
Here, boy. Another one.
Starkather. Wow, that's a lot of arms.
That's fair to say.
6, 7, 8? Could he shoot 4 bows at once?
More of a swordsman. He did only have the 2 eyes.
Looks like Thor cut him down to size.
It's what he does.
Do you hear that?
No. What do you hear, boy?
Crying. And screams. Large crowd of people.
Just old spirits, I suppose. Leftover victims of the Mad Dwarf's reign. Still, that's rather ominous.
They're getting louder. They sound almost like... Hello! lot of Hellwalkers. Hey, look at this. A blood trail.
There's a passage behind this throne.
A secret passage!
Well, wouldn't be a proper throne room without a secret passage.
Moldsignir.
Boy.
Interesting. I may want to write that down. The things you pulled from him. Those must be the 3 mythical ingredients Brock was talking about.
I can say with utmost certainty that I've never laid eye on a stranger set of objects in my life.
How are Brock and Sindri supposed to build with... whatever they are?
Don't count the dwarves out, lad. They're right pricks, but they're resourceful. They once made an unbreakable chain out of little more than a cat's footstep and bird spit.
That doesn't even make sense.
Well, that's the legend. If you wanted sense, you shouldn't be talking to a severed head.
this place looked like in better times.
Conan's was a beautiful land in its heyday, before the Dwarf King's obsession poisoned his mind.
How could he let that happen?
The dwarf blindly trusted in the legend and pursued it without thought to the consequences. This is the result.
Trust is a gamble. Like you said, and the Dwarf King lost.
You found the legendary materials? Incredible. Oh, this is so exciting! Meet me back at the temple and we'll get started right away!
You boys look right beaming. Well, the squirt does. Can't see squat behind that frizzled fuzz you call a beard.
They found the materials. But they're so weird. How do you build a piece of armor out of something so...
None yet.
Nanya?
None your fucking business. Trade secret. We got our ways.
Oh.
Something else we can do for you?
Nah, just glad you guys worked it out.
Well, I could say the same to you.
Ha!
I guess I was getting a bit full of myself.
Told him what he needed to hear, how's it sounds to me.
Just the same. I'm sorry for how I spoke to you, Sindri. You forgive me?
Already have. Like you said, it all worked out. Now, let us get back to work before I get sentimental.
Good to see you sweating the details. Now there's something else.
Alrighty-o. We are going to stop here, and when we get back with this again, we'll definitely get the other two dragons, because obviously one of them, we already know where it is, you can hear the roars, and obviously the other one is behind the two big doors. And then obviously we'll probably do some realm traveling too. We gotta do some realm traveling too as well to get some points. But, well, those two are my main priority, and from there we'll see what we can do that does not involve continuing on with the main mission. So we'll stop here, continue this again another time, and as always, leave a like and comments.